All right, it's never too early to start talking free agency for next offseason, right? 2023-24. Nah, no such things as too early. No. So, I just want to give a little preview of, I think, some of the guys that are, I think, the most appealing, most attractive free agents for next year. It's going to be pitching heavy, it looks like, but that could change as well, depending on who opts out and so on. So, and who might get released, or you never know. You never know. So, I'll obviously do a more in-depth predictions list later on, but I want to talk about this tomorrow night in the live stream too. So if it's this type of stuff you enjoy and you haven't subscribed to this channel, I hope you enjoyed enough to do that. I thank you for it, and if you do, just hit the like button and the notification bell, and you won't miss anything. You'll enjoy it all. So, and Saturday night live streams are always at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. But let's get into this list, okay? Luis Severino is going to be on this list, okay? He's a free agent. And again, he's going to be 30 years old in 2024, okay? He's coming off a couple years of injury. This past year, he went 7-3 with a 3.18 ERA, 3.70 FIP, and a 1.4 WAR across 102 innings pitched. I expect him to probably get up to maybe 150 innings, which would be a nice progression again. And again, he's a couple years out from Tommy John and groin and issues and stuff. So, if he continues to be healthy and dominant, he's going to have no shortage of suitors, and it would make sense for him to go to free agency as well. So, because he might be in a position to get an overpay from somebody. It's just the way they do it in free agency, right? So, but there's plenty of pitchers on this list so that if he happens to go elsewhere, the Yankees will be in a position to sign a different pitcher. So, and again, they have about $100 million coming off the books this next offseason, so they're in a prime position to strike too. They'll be under the initial threshold of $233 million. So they'll be in a spot to add up some pieces should they need to do that, should they want to do that. So Luis Severino is going to be a guy to look out for. Now, keeping on pitching, Blake Snell, left-handed. He was a former ace for the Rays and was moved to the Padres, so he had a couple injury issues as well, but he's only going to be 31. He's got youth on his side, too, in 2024. Now, he was 8-10 this year with a 3.38 ERA, 2.80 FIP, and 3.7 WAR across 128 innings. So I expect him to probably be up at maybe at 150, 160 innings as well. It'll be a nice progression. And again, what team is not going to want a guy like that, particularly from the left-handed side who can still get guys out on a regular basis? And again, 31, he won't break the bank, but we're not talking about like Verlander and Cole, those types of guys' salaries. I don't know about any of these guys going to get them. There might be one pitcher on here that can get this, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. But he's going to have another one have no shortage of suitors. Next up is Miles Mikolas. Okay, yeah, from St. Louis Cardinals, a right-handed pitcher. He's a little older. He's going to be 35, but look what he's done. He's done 12-13 this past year, 3.39 ERA, 3.29, excuse me, 3.57 FIP, and a 2.8 WAR across 202 innings. This guy, and again, if you need a workhorse who can throw innings, who's not going to lock you up for several years, Mikolas is a good find as well. He'll get these teams like the Royals and other teams in his division, the Cubs, who can get him, and even more teams in the American League too. I could see the Astros getting one of these pitchers to add to their pitching arsenal too. So there's going to be a lot of teams going after a lot of these pitchers. Next up is Yu Darvish. He won another older pitcher, but again, he's been showing durability too. He's going to be 37 in 2024. But he was 16-8 this year with a 3.10 ERA, a 3.31 FIP, and 4.2 WAR across 194 innings. So like, these pitchers have been impactful, man, particularly in San Diego. So he's another guy I think who will get a couple-year deal no matter what. Next up, Lucas Giolito. He's had a little bit of a down season, but he's been pretty dominant too. I mean, he was obviously not as dominant as Carlos Rodon there in Chicago, but he was 11-9 this year with a 4.90 ERA, so that's something that needs to come down. 4.06 FIP and a 1.8 WAR, but he threw 161 innings. He's only going to be 29 in 2024. So if you get somebody who can really do a good job on him, you can get a lot of good years of really good pitching from him. So next up, I think is going to be one of the jackpots here, Julio Urias from the Dodgers. Yeah, he's only going to be 27. I didn't realize he was going to be a free agent already. 27 in 2024. He's 17 and he's already won 20 games as well. 17-7 with a 2.16 ERA with a 3.7 FIP and 3.2 WAR across 175 innings. This guy will probably be the guy to get the 7 or 8 year deal from somebody at a lot of money. And the Dodgers could be just waiting for them to completely reset to go after him. And it's pretty obvious they're going to go after Shohei Ohtani too. So, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes as well. Aaron Nola is next on the list. Okay, another guy who just throws innings, is dependable. He's 11-13 with a 3.25 ERA, 2.58 FIP, and a 6.3 WAR. And he was money in the postseason. And threw 205 innings in the regular season. He's only going to be 31 in 2024. So he's another guy who can just come in and be a great arm in a rotation for a lot of teams in baseball. So Yeah. See, that's the thinking cap. All the noise you hear in the background is the thinking cap. Okay? And so he'll be another one, Nola. Now, obviously, Mr. Opt-out, Manny Machado. It sounds like he's going to opt out, okay? All signs are kind of leading toward. He will have 5 years, $150 million left on his deal. So, and if he keeps producing the way he's producing, I'll give you an example. He batted .298 this year, 366 on base, 531 slugging, with 32 homers, 102 ribbies, 63 walks, 898 OPS. He had a 7.4 WAR. Okay, he's only going to be 31. You're looking at probably close to a Xander Bogaerts type contract. So he could be in line for his second $300 million contract or close to it. So, and I do think he'll have a bunch of. And again, keep in mind, this is where I think the Yankees might come in and strike for a guy like Manny Machado and try to get him on an 8-year deal at high dollars or something. We just don't know. But they have a prospect, Andres Chaparro, so I hope they give him a chance, and let's see if he's a real deal or not. This is their chance to do it, right? Give this kid a chance, and if it doesn't pan out, then you can maybe go after a guy like Manny Machado. But we'll see. But he's going to have no shortage of suitors as well. So the other guy was on this list, but he's no longer on. It's Rafael Devers. So, because he was locked up by Boston on a big extension, like $330 million, so he's no longer on the list. So, congratulations to him. And lastly, Shohei Ohtani. Now, this list is going to get a lot bigger, so I'll do a predictions video at some point later on, but these seem to be the most appealing names, the biggest names. Shohei Ohtani, as a hitter, batted .273, 34 home runs, 96 ribbies, 72 walks, 875 OPS, and a 3.8 WAR. And as a pitcher, he was even more impressive. 15-9 with a 2.33 ERA, 2.40 FIP, and a 5.6 WAR in 166 innings. And he's only going to be 29 when 2024 season is here. So he's going to have youth on his side, and I think he'll probably be one of the guys, if he doesn't get the first $500,000 contract, he's going to get damn close to it. He'll probably sign the biggest contract in history, bigger than Trout's. But Trout is still, to me, the franchise player in L.A. But I do think Shohei Ohtani will stay out west, but I think he's probably going to go to the Dodgers, with my sleeper team being the Mariners. Some of their owners are no Nintendo. They have a big Japanese market. So would I be surprised if the Mariners came in? I would not, on a huge deal. And you pair him with Luis Castillo and Robbie Ray, and even add him to that offense because they need one of each. It's a good fit for Seattle, so I would watch out for them. But I think the Dodgers are going to be the most aggressive if they don't trade for him at the deadline. And I think that if the Angels are not playing well, they just have no shot. He'll get moved at the deadline. And I don't think it would probably have to be the Dodgers, because I can't see a team giving up half the farm for this guy and then not re-signing him to an extension. It just wouldn't make any sense. So I do think it's going to be between the Dodgers and Mariners fighting for Ohtani's services. He had a chance to come to the East Coast. The Yankees were heavy on him, and internationally he didn't do it. So I think his preference is probably to stay out west. But would I be surprised if I know the Mets? I mean, we already heard Steve Cohen's either internally discussing with people, or he's going to about the possibility of bringing him in. Steve Cohen is going to pony up big money as well. So would I be surprised if he went to the Mets or the Yankees? No, but at the end of the day, I think he's going to stay out west. So, but let me know what you think of this list. Load up the comments. We'll talk about it on the live stream tomorrow night, and we'll get into them a little bit more detail. And obviously, if anything comes out today, tomorrow, the next couple of days, you're going to get it here. We're still 3 weeks away from pitchers and catchers, but that's not going to end there. We're 7 weeks from the season starting as well. So, a lot more baseball activities coming. Talk to you later.